What's up? I'm gonna do this video a little bit different, kind of go picture by picture and show you what I got going on. But this is a post I made on Facebook 4 days ago, and just showing the progress on the property. I'm gonna go picture by picture in just a second, and I think probably got better pictures somewhere. But this is just what I posted, and it just kind of gives you an example of where I started and where I'm at. And probably some stuff looks a little different than that now, but yeah, because I'm steady working on this every day. This is the first day at the mini excavator out there, and it didn't really go so hot. I mean, he got off to a pretty good start and got stuck in the mud. The mud is pretty deep. Like I said, like in the post, this was pretty much a swamp when I bought it. Like the whole property was like under 2 feet of water. I had drained the water out for the most part years ago, but it did, retain a little bit of water, like, back there where the brush is that he's cut, going through. Okay. This is day 2 with the mini excavator, and actually it was 2 mini excavators this day. The problem still is the ground is obviously too soft. The excavators were sinking in the ground. I'm not. There's no complaints with the work that they did, because they really did the best they could with what they had to work with. We probably should have waited another month or two till the ground was like a little harder instead of doing it during the spring. But you live and learn. You live and learn. Just if you have to do dirt work at any point, probably do it in the summer, like when it's dry. When it's dry, don't do dirt work when it's wet and muddy outside. That's what I'm gonna say on this. But this is not exactly. I mean, it's probably a little cleaner than that what I got left with, but not that much more. I just had some huge burn piles and still had a lot of brush. So yeah, the rest of the work pretty much had to be done by hand. After several months, pretty much using a handsaw. I did use a chainsaw at some point, and then my dad came out and helped me with his chainsaw. But yeah, after several months on and off working, and at some point I was working every day for like about 2-3 months straight. And this is kind of where I'm at. This probably isn't a good picture to really show you how much has really been done, because this is like really at the far back of the property looking forward. So yeah, I've cleared a lot of land. I have cleared a lot of land by hand. That was some hard work, and I'm still doing it. Actually, what you see now, most of that is already been burned down. And I'm probably still I've actually thinned out some more trees since this picture. I'm still gonna do a little more thinning. The goal with this property at some point is to create affordable housing like you see here. Like narrow lot housing, townhomes, basically to create some type of pocket community. Okay, that's a picture of my dad helping me out. That's a picture of the nightclub behind and that's another picture. There's some pictures rolling through. But so why cattle? Where does cattle come into property development? Like cattle and property development. Here's where it comes in for me. You see, like all this land that I have cleared, I'm pretty like, if you just let this go for another year, this is just gonna grow back. This summer, like in this area, I did plant a food plot. It wasn't the best food plot ever. I'm not gonna say it was the best food plot ever, but for what it was, because this is just timber I just cut down. I don't have any farm implements. Like, you couldn't even get a tractor out here when I started this. So yeah, I pretty much just scattered seed. I planted soybeans, cowpeas, spring mix forage for the deer. And yeah, I say it worked pretty good. The places where the forage really took off, the brush didn't come back, but there are some places where, brush already started coming back. So that's where I'm looking at the Piney Woods cattle. Piney Woods cattle. Piney Woods cattle are cattle. They're Criollo cattle. I don't know how you said it, Criollo. But Criollo cattle are basically cattle that came over with Columbus from Spain around 500 years ago, and pretty much they were set free, and I don't want to say they were set free, but they've been running wild and basically evolved over time, by natural selection. Criollo cattle, like some actual other breeds that would be included, would be Florida crackers, which are pretty much the same thing as Piney Woods, I would say. Uh, Texas Longhorns are also pretty similar. They come from the same genetics, and Coriantes come from pretty much the same Criollo genetics. So these are basically wild cattle. They don't need human input. They managed to live for hundreds of years in the woods by themselves. They don't need people. They're pretty pest resistant. They're pest and disease resistant. And the big factor that sold me on the Piney Woods cattle, they are not selective grazers. They actually forage for food, kind of like, I would say, closer to like a goat. So they're things that normal commercial cattle and British cattle will not eat. These cows will eat. They will eat poison ivy. They will eat like the little thorns and brush like that I had. At this point, I'm like, wow, I probably would have came out cheaper just buying two cows, and they probably would have cleared that land just the same as I did, minus the tree cut down, and did it better. I don't know about better. I don't know about better, but yeah. But yeah, that's where the cattle comes in. Uh, with the whole, pandemic of things going on right now, construction materials are like at an all-time high. I probably really do need to work on my credit. I got plenty equity in houses I already own, and yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go like the self-building route. I'm gonna try to actually like maybe build a narrow lighthouse or townhouse, or like see what they let me do. And then the thing also goes with what is going on in the city at the time. Like right now, I see housing being an issue. By the time I'm in position to really break ground, we'll see, because it's all about the highest and best use. I did have some other ideas on what to do with the property, but yeah, that's where the Piney Woods come in, and just maintaining the property, because I wanted to have a park-like atmosphere, and it's getting there. It's nice. I mean, you have to really go in there to see what I mean about what's nice about it. But yeah, I'm just trying to maintain the property and just be a good steward of the land. Because I guess this would be considered regenerative farming. Because I'm just really gonna start off probably with two cows and see how that go. I'm just start with two cows and go from there. And where the excavator was pushing into the brush, this is actually a little past that. This is like what I've cleared by hand. So, yeah, it's been some work. It has been some work. But to maintain and get it to like a park-like setting, I do think the Piney Woods cattle would be helpful in that. And that would save a lot of money on mowing and chemicals. There's going to be some money up front. Fencing and water. Those are like the two infrastructure things I do have to work out. I'm pretty sure there is a way to get water. Like, I'm inside of the city limits. I'm located like in between a nightclub and a washateria. So like, I'm pretty sure I can get city water. And yeah, the American Legion is right next door. But it is a 2.5 acre property inside the city, which I know it doesn't look like I'm in the city, but I'm literally like a block and a half, 2 blocks off the busiest street in town.